and here we are going to work 2 double crochets together like that. Chain 2, turn your work, skip this very first stitch and work 1 double crochet into the next stitch. Continue working 1 double crochet into the next stitches until you are you have 4 stitches left to get to the chain gap. Okay, so we have 4 stitches to the chain gap, as you can see, and here what we do is we chain 1, skip this next stitch, and into the next we work a double crochet, and then work a double crochet into the next 2 stitches, 2 double crochets into the next 2 stitches, as you can see. Okay, work 1 double crochet into the chain gap, and then work 3 double crochets into the next 3 stitches, and then here you chain 1, skip 1, and work 1 double crochet into the next stitch. See that? That's what we have. Okay, continue working 1 double crochet into every stitch until you have 2 stitches left to get to the end of the row, and there you work 2 double crochets together to end your row. That's exactly where I'm going to meet you and then show you how to work the next row. So chain 2, turn your work, skip this and work into the next stitch. Continue working 1 double crochet into every stitch until you have 4 stitches left to get to the first chain gap that we have. Okay, so let's count 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is exactly where we are. So chain 1, skip this stitch, work into the next, work a double crochet, work 2 double crochets into the next 2 stitches, and then into the chain gap you work 1 double crochet, into the next stitch you work 1 double crochet, continue working 1 double crochet into every stitch until you get to the next chain gap. Right here. Okay, into the chain gap you work 1 double crochet, into the next stitch you work 1 double crochet and work 2 double crochets into the next 2 stitches, 1 and 2. Okay, chain 1, skip 1, work 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and here you are going to work 1 double crochet into every stitch until you have 2 stitches left to end your row, and right there is where you work 2 double crochets together, just so to end your row with that decrease that we have been working. See, this is what we have. Okay, so just finish off your row as I have directed you to, and I'm going to meet you at the end of your row so I can show you how to work the next row. The next row is going to be a little bit different, so be very attentive. Chain 2, turn your work, skip this stitch and work 2 double crochets into the next stitch. Continue working skip this and work 1 double crochet in the next stitch, and then continue working 1 double crochet into every stitch until you get to the chain gap, the first chain gap. Okay, so let me meet you right there and show you how to work this step at this row. So right here, as you can see, I am at our very first chain gap. So what I do is I work 1 double crochet into the chain gap and then work 3 double crochets into the next 3 stitches. Okay, as you can see, yarn over, chain 1. I really want this to be worked within, so chain 1, skip this and work into the next stitch. Okay, so you see what we have. We are having this this chain gap worked into the line of the second row of this design. Okay, so that we have that increasing and then decreasing design. All right, and then now here you are going to yarn over, work a double crochet into the next stitch, continue working 1 double crochet into every stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4. So literally we just have to have 7 double crochet stitches before we work our next chain gap. So from this chain gap to this, there should be 7 stitches between. Chain 1, skip 1, work 1 double crochet into the next stitch, continue working 1 double crochet into the next stitches, and once at this chain gap you work 1 double crochet into the chain gap, then work 1 double crochet into every stitch until you have 2 stitches left, and there you work 2 double crochets together to end your row. You see this? So that's how it has to look like. Now work your row until the end. That's where I'm going to meet you and show you what to do. Skip this stitch, and I hope you have chain to turn your work. So skip this and then work a double crochet into the next stitch. Work 1 double crochet into every stitch until you get to the chain gap that we created on the previous row. So into the chain gap we work 1 double crochet, and now we are going to work 3 double crochets into the next 3 stitches like that, and then chain 1, skip 1, work 3 double crochets into the next 3 stitches, and then work 1 double crochet into the chain gap. Now from here we continue working 1 double crochet into every stitch until we have 2 stitches left, and there we work 2 double crochets together to end our row. Okay, so that should be very easy for you because you already know how we have been ending our rows. So just do that and I'll meet you on the next row and show you how to work that. Chain 2, turn your work, skip the very first stitch and then work a double crochet into the next. Work 1 double crochet into every stitch, all right, until you have 2 stitches left to end your row. Okay, so for this row we are just working 1 double crochet because we are separating this design from the previous design. Okay, so you see what we have. So we have this ended, and now we are going to work 1 double crochet into every stitch and 1 double crochet into the chain gap, then continue with 1 double crochet into every stitch until you have 2 stitches left, and then you work 2 double crochets together right here. Okay, so let me let you work this row on your own, and I'm just going to come back and show you what to do for the next row. So now I've finished my row and that's how it looks like. I'm going to chain 2 and turn my work, skip the first stitch and then work 1 double crochet into the next stitch. Now here you are going to work 1 double crochet into every stitch until you get to the middle. Okay, and if you remember clearly, I told you the middle is this chain gap right here that we have been working in the middle of all our stitches. Okay, from the very first row of the spider web stitch. So we are going to work this until we get there, and there I'll show you what to do. So I'm right there. So what I do is chain one, skip this stitch right here, and then work a double crochet into the next. So literally I am working a chain gap just like we worked on the previous rows. Okay, so from here you are going to work one double crochet into every stitch until you get to having 2 stitches left to end your row, and there you will work 2 double crochets together to end your row, and I'll meet you on the next row to show you what to do. So I've finished my row, and that's how it looks like. What I am going to do here is chain 2, turn my work, skip the first stitch, and then work 1 double crochet into the next stitch. And here I am going to work 1 double crochet into every stitch until I have 2 stitches left to get to the chain gap. Okay, so literally we are working the very first design that we worked up here. Okay, so you're going to work this until you have 2 stitches left to get to the chain gap that you worked on your previous row. Okay, so I am right here, and what we do is we chain 3, yarn over into the chain gap. So we are skipping these 2 stitches and working a double crochet into the chain gap, then chain 3, skip 2 stitches, and then work 1 double crochet into the next stitch. And here we are going to continue working 1 double crochet into every stitch until we get to having 2 stitches left to end our row, and there we shall work 2 double crochets together to end the row, and I'll meet you on the next row. So here I hope you have chained 2 and turned your work and skip the stitch and then work a double crochet into the next stitch. Now here work 1 double crochet into every stitch until you have 2 stitches left to get to the chain gaps that you just worked previously. That's where I'm going to meet you and show you what to do. And I am right there. So once you are there, this is what you do. You chain 5 and skip these 2 stitches into the chain gap. You work 1 single crochet and then work a single crochet into the double crochet post, and then work 1 single crochet into the next chain gap, then chain 5, skip 2 stitches and work 1 double crochet into the next stitch. Continue working 1 double crochet into every stitch until you have 2 stitches left to end your row, and there you work 2 double crochets together to end your row. And I'm going to meet you on the next row exactly here. Like, you now know how to start your row. Chain 2, turn your work, skip the first stitch and then work a double crochet into the next, work 1 double crochet until you have 2 stitches left to get to the chain gap. Okay, so I am going to meet you exactly here to show you how to work your next row. Okay, so we are here. And now here we are going to chain 7, chain gap, work 1 single crochet, and then into the 3 single crochets we worked previously, you work 3 single crochets. That's 1 single crochet into each of them, and then work 1 single crochet into the chain gap on the other end, and then chain 7 again. Okay, skip these 2 stitches and work 1 double crochet into the next stitch. Continue working 1 double crochet into every stitch until you have 2 stitches left, and there you work 2 single crochets, 2 double crochets together to end your row. Okay, so yet still I am going to meet you right here on the next row. So you just chain 2, turn your work, skip the first stitch, work into the next, 1 double crochet into every stitch until you have until you get to the chain gap right here. So this time we are not working until we have 2 stitches left to get to the chain gap. Instead we are working until we get to the chain gap. Okay, so I'm going to leave you right here and meet you right there on the next row and then show you what to do. So as you can see, we are right there. So what we are going to do here is we work 2 double crochets into the chain gap, and now chain 5, skip this single crochet stitch, and into the next you work a single crochet, work a single crochet in the next, and work a single crochet in the next. So have 3 single crochets there, and then chain 5, into the chain gap you work 2 double crochets. Okay, and now continue working 1 double crochet into every stitch until you have until you have 2 stitches left to end your row, and there you will chain you will work 2 double crochets together to end your row. So let me meet you there. Let me meet you on the next row. So you will do that, end your row and chain 2, turn your work, work 1 double crochet into every stitch until you are right here at the chain gap, and that's where I'm going to meet you and show you what to do. So here we are going to work 2 double crochets into the chain gap, chain 3, skip this and work a double crochet into the second single crochet stitch right there, and then chain 3, work 2 double crochets into the chain gap, and now continue working 1 double crochet into every stitch until we have 2 stitches left to end the row, and there we work 2 double crochets together. Now the next row is really going to be different, so I hope you guys pay attention because it's not going to start or end the way these rows have been ending, and I'll tell you why. So once there, you chain 2 and turn your work, and now what we are going to do this time is, first of all, we are approaching our neck bone, and I need this width smaller so that by the time we are at our neck bone we are just this wide. Okay, this wide, and right now we still have something like super wide. So to get that cut down, we are going to skip the first stitch and work 2 double crochets together into the next 2 stitches like that. Okay, and now work 1 double crochet into every stitch until you have gotten to the chain gap. Okay, so let me meet you there. Now right here we are going to work 2 double crochets into the chain gap, and then chain 1, skip this double crochet post, and then into the next chain gap you work 2 double crochets in the very same stitch, and then work 1 double crochet into every stitch until you have 3 stitches left. Okay, and yes, I'm going to show you how to end your row so that you don't confuse what we have been doing with what we are now doing. Okay, so right here we have 1, 2, 3 stitches left, so we work 3 double crochets together like that. Okay, chain 2, turn your work. You see how it's like decreasing. Now this row, since this design is complete, we are just going to work normal rows. So skip the first stitch and work 2 double crochets together into the next 2 stitches like that, and now work 1 double crochet into every stitch until you get to the chain gap, And in the chain gap we are going to work 1 double crochet into the chain gap and just continue working 1 double crochet into every stitch until you have 3 stitches left to end your row, and there you'll work 3 double crochets together just like I have showed you previously. How to end your row. All right, now you're going to do this for 1 double crochet into every stitch for the next 2 rows. Yeah, at least we should just have 2 more rows. Then that's where I'm going to meet you and then show you what to do next. So this is what I have worked 1, 2, 3 rows to the top, okay, and this is what I have. That's how it looks like. So now we are left to work our edges and also get our straps worked. So what you do is chain 1 and now work 1 single crochet right there. Okay, now into this double crochet post you work a single crochet and then work a single crochet right there. Literally you are working 2 single crochets into every double crochet post, okay, but just find your way and just make sure for every row you have put 2 single crochets into every double crochet post. So you can either put 1 in the middle of the post and then at the end of it, or you can just fix them close to each other, but just make sure there are 2 for every double crochet post, okay. So here it's up to you. You can work picots if you want. If you want any picots along this row or edge, you can work those. I have done several of those. I think I have worked this top almost in every way. I have worked it with an arcade stitch on the edges. I have worked it with a picot on the edges. I have worked it plain as it looks right here, and literally I have worked this top several times. So you all should just play around with your edges the way you want. For as long as you have gotten how to work the body of the top, that's what matters. So I'm not going to finish the whole project for you because clearly the major bit was having you learn how to work the body of this top, and I think I have made you achieve that. So just work your edges just like you see how mine has been worked and how it looks, okay. Or you can fix picots, and then right here you will put a strap and right here you'll put a strap, okay. That also applies here and here, so that's where your straps go. And once you have that, do the same for this side. Put a strap right here and a strap right there, and then a strap right here, and you will have your top complete. And this is how it should look like, okay. So I want to thank you all for watching. I'm really sorry I haven't been really consistent because of everything that has been going on back and forth, and I've always been communicating this on my Instagram. Most of you have always gotten to know whenever something was happening, and I'm really so glad that we have come back all together to watch my tutorials, given the fact that I haven't been consistent for the past 2-3 months. So thank you so much for watching this one. I'll meet you all in my next tutorial. Thank you. Goodbye.